What's up, everybody? It's Jamie here with FTE Productions, and I want to thank everybody for stopping by, checking out my video. For those who have been with me for a little bit, I know it's been quite some time since I've dropped a video. It's been hot. Work has been really crazy, full throttle, and we're in the full season, so I finally got some time to make a video. I also got my hands on here a Glock 19, which I'm really fucking stoked about. I'm going to start like a new little mini series off of everything else I do for the firearms and weapons and the plethora of knowledge that I have in this field. So I feel like I could do some real good and bring some real knowledge to people and absolutely answer some questions that anybody might have out there regarding firearms. So any question you may have, by all means direct them towards me, because if I don't already know the answer, I will more than gladly seek out that answer for you, because this is an absolute extreme passion of mine. It's almost like biologically ingrained in me, down to the DNA, that my just genuine passion and love for firearms here. I do apologize for the ragtag operation that I got going on right now, but I moved everything from my office into the armory, so I'm bringing you live from the armory right now for these gun tutorials, videos, and just all around cool shit. So alright, so let's jump into what today's video is all about. Pretty much I'm just going to go ahead and talk about a little bit of the firearms that I know, that I've had, in reference to what I have here. Okay, so what I have here, first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our weapon is safe and clear. That is absolute primary number one firearms etiquette. Everybody stresses it, but it's because it's so goddamn important. Alright, so let's stop fucking around. Weapon. We have no magazine in it. Nobody's around. We're good. It's just me. Weapon clear. Double check it. Point it at the light. Clear. Barrel's clear. Magazine is here. It was never inserted. Let's go ahead and drop the slide. A few more racks just because. Why not? Let me tell you something. The whole phrase better safe than sorry cannot be more stressed than with this right here. You blow yourself away, you blow somebody away, you're going to be sorry. So, better safe than sorry. Send it home about 19 times and go ahead and just clear and save it. There you go. Boom. Okay, so firearm is clear and it is made safe. Most important rule, folks, I can't, yet again, stress that enough. Do not play with your firearm. That's the best way I can also tell you to avoid accidents. You know what? You get cowboyish, you get rowdy, shit happens. It always happens to the person that swears that it's never going to happen. If you want to play with guns, get yourself a Nerf gun, get yourself an airsoft rifle. Hell, get yourself one of these training rifles. Oops, there goes the micro, Roni. All gravy, though. We're going to cover that in a little bit. So get yourself one of these, rubber rifle, cheap, dummy rifle, and just, if you want to play with a gun. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Keep the shit in a safe. Don't fucking play with it. And you're not going to blow away a tub of G Fuel. Oh, God, man. Was that a low blow to somebody? Oof, I'm sure everybody's already seen that video. Give it a look-see, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, granted, I did watch that individual make an apology, and I truly felt like he meant it. So I'm going to give him half a pass. All right? But if you haven't seen it, watch the streamer who shot a tub of G Fuel who thought his gun was clear and safe, and it wasn't, and he shot it. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, let's get into what we're going to talk about. Okay, so there are definitely a lot of things I want to cover in this series of events. I get a lot of questions about firearms, a lot of things, and I hear a lot of things also that I just think are just straight sales pitches. It's just covered up bullshit to get you into the gun stores to buy these trinkets and these dumbass accessories that at a later date you may need or you may want to acquire. When you first start out by buying your firearm, okay, I hear a lot of these things. Oh, upgrades, cool, blah, blah, blah. Listen, if you don't know how to shoot the thing, first do that before you start throwing toasters and rims on your gun, okay? People want to run out and they want to throw sights on it, they want to throw a trigger on it and all that stuff. That's all fine and dandy, but what you really need to do is learn how to use the weapon as is, because in any kind of event where you need to pick up a weapon that might just be a plain Jane, well, I'm not used to my my stage 3 Giselle, and oh god, it's not a ported slide with a triple golf barrel and a D-ring in the O valve, and I'm just like, you know what, man, like when it comes from the factory, to be honest with you, it's more than good enough for me. The gun is gonna go bang. Now, if it's a lemon, totally different issue. If you're having issues with the ammunition, totally different issue. If the gun is just hitting on all notes because everything's prime, why fuck with it, right? I don't know. That's just what I... So, like I was saying, the gun, until you know how to operate it efficiently, I would recommend that you just leave it alone. Don't worry about changing the sights. Don't worry about changing the trigger until you get advanced enough and feel comfortable enough. Because even then, once you start doing that, then you're going to have to train and work on those systems you just installed on your firearm. So it's not like all of a sudden, boom, you throw those on and it makes you a better shooter. No, then you still have to get proficient with those. So learn the basics and then graduate up. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I firmly believe that a lot of people buy multiple firearms so they can just continually buy these accessories and everything and just keep tricking out the rifle. You know, someone wants an ACOG on this and they want an EOTech on that and they want a Surefire and an Extendo and all that funny stuff. So, and hey, I'm not against that stuff, but I just think some of it is just unnecessary when it comes to just straight nitty-gritty, down to the wire battle fighting, you know? Iron sights and a trigger that is always going to pull. So with all that being said, I'm definitely going to go and cover this Glock 19 that I have there. This is actually my first Glock that I've ever owned. I've owned multiple pistols, probably in the neighborhood of 6 or 7 pistols. 3 1911s, a Sig Sauer, 2 Tauruses, a Ruger, and there might be one other pistol in there that I'm forgetting, and at least up to about 9 rifles. So I've had my fair share of firearms, and I currently do not own any of those because I like to consider myself an arms dealer or an arms trader. I purchase firearms, I play with them, I put them through their paces, and then I sell them off to purchase another gun and play with that one. So, but no, I am not, disclaimer, I am not an arms trader or dealer. This is not Warlord here, as much as I would love to be a Warlord. So this is actually my first Glock that I've owned. I have fired a couple of Glocks before, and I really like them. Prior to ever firing a Glock, I was really anti them, only because of how cliche felt and how popular they were. I just really, felt like, man, there's a lot of good pistols out there that are extremely underrated and shadowed by this Glock. And don't get me wrong, I still have that notion about them a little bit, but the facts are in, it's a great firearm. It really is. In a 9mm platform, which this is, it's a tack driver. You just squeeze and just drive, doom, doom, and your follow-up rounds, you should be keyholing every time if you're somewhat of a good shot. I went with the 19 here because just the concealability, the size, everything about it. I have, little hands, medium to little hands, and for my hands, it's perfect. It is absolutely perfect. So, and it fits perfectly. I carry appendix. Some people like side and rear. Appendix to me is the best way to carry, and I'll get into that in some later videos, show you some reasons why I believe that way, tell you some real reasons why that it is the most effective, tactical way, sound way to carry your firearm. But the 19 is beautiful. It doesn't print, especially when I wear a button-down shirt that's a plaid flannel style. The concealability is just next to none, and also the weight too. Most of actually pretty much I would say all of them except the Sig Sauer had all the firearms were metal, both the top receiver and lower receiver. The Sig Sauer was just like the Glock. It had a metal upper and a plastic lower, and the magazine being plastic too. Most of the time I get metal mags. I really like metal mags, but these are really good. I like these Glock mags, and they're a dime a dozen and they're cheap, so I'm gonna run them. I have no issues. Now what I do also plan on doing is put in a Taron Tactical +3. I don't know if they go to +5, but if I get a +3 base pad, that's gonna add some good weight when I do a mag drop, a mag dump. And I'm going to run them on both my mags just because it's really good to stay consistent in all of everything. So when you just get into reloads, speed reloads, it's just constant muscle memory, up and in, up and in, up and in. So, but back to the Glock here. I mean, this is just an amazing gun. It really is as far as carrying goes. The weight is what really sold me on this, and the cap, the high cap. I mean, in this, I'm carrying 15 + 1 in the pipe. So I have 16 rounds ready to bang. And then I also have another mag that I'm rolling on me, 15. So you're looking at 31 rounds. And total weight, I would say probably less than when I used to carry my 1911. And I carried that single stack, obviously, 45 ACP, 8 + 1, and then also with the secondary mag. And the problem with that over time is carrying that for 8 hours every single day, you really then start to develop some back pain. It was crazy. I had spoken to an old timer one time who was really shocked that I carried a 1911, and I wouldn't say shocked, but surprised because he understood the weight. And he told me, yeah, man, you know, I was a little younger, I used to carry the same thing, but it just got heavier and heavier as I got older and older, and now I have to carry something lighter. And wouldn't you know it, shortly after carrying that thing for a duration, a couple years, I was like, man, this thing is starting to get pretty heavy. And yeah, it would hurt my back after carrying it all day. So I nixed that and then started to carry a Draco because I could throw it into a book bag. Outrageous, I know. But hey, it was cool. 30 rounds of just straight Russian hate just spitting at you. So, but I dumped that off for a fantastic price. So I had to really get that. Like I said, I really love buying and selling arms. It's just a passion of mine. So yeah, and the Glock is like the Honda Civic of the world. It has everything you could ever want to attach to a gun. And they keep making stuff, which is phenomenal. So that is also why I've also been really stoked to get into the Glock market, because the accessories. And I know that I just said, hey, whatever, but they do have some pretty cool things. Now, one thing they do have, which I'm going to grab up here for you guys, is this CAA, MCK Micro Roni. This thing is like hands down the coolest thing. I don't know, probably one of the coolest things I've seen for a pistol, at least. It is a rifle chassis essentially. What I got here is I got the long model. They do come in, I think, 2 other models, one short here and then one extremely short here. This is just impractical as hell. You can't even shoulder it. This right here. And now that the ATF lifted that ban on shouldering pistol braces, it's just unbelievable how comfortable this thing tucks in here. I picked this thing up probably 2 weeks ago. I love the Broomstick Mag Feature. Just a real cool feature. Picatinny rail on all 3 sides. I have a Surefire Scout attached to it. Their proprietary light system in the front, I heard it's just pure garbage. They claim it's like 100 lumens or something, but it's worse than a cell phone flashlight, you know? What I got on here is this Surefire Scout. The lumen. So now the lumens on this Surefire Scout, it's dumb bright. We're talking eye melting. I don't really know the exact specs on it, but just Google it. Yeah, what else I got to say about this thing here? It's awesome. I don't have currently right now a rifle. All I have is my pistol, and the fact of the matter that I can carry this, which I just broke down, throw it into a book bag, whatever, swing it up, throw the pistol in the chassis real quick. Once you train on it, you get her in there real quick like. And now this thing claims to, with flip up sights or even a hopped up red dot, whatever you want to throw on there, it's claiming 200 plus yards of accuracy. And I'm sorry, but I'm not banging you at 200 yards. I'm going to egress the situation because you're 2 football fields away. We're not in a sniping competition here. You know what I mean? Most of your engagements are going to be 10, 15, 20 yards max, I'm betting. Unless this is a police battle and the dude's trying to get the hell away. But anyways, so the fact of the matter that I have 2 weapons systems with 1 operating platform is just amazing to me. Absolutely amazing, because situation dictates in here, yet again, breaker down in the waistband, and I'm still strapped and good to go. So these things in the Glock world are incredible, and I highly, highly recommend anybody picks one of these up. I picked this up at my local gun shop for about 170 bones. I know I've heard people claim that you can get them 150 street value all the way up to what they sell online for like $249 up to $269, and this is the Gen 1. So, and I love the Gen 1, to be honest. I know the Gen 2 has some cool features and all that, and it is suppressor acceptable, which down the road I would like to swap my barrel out for a externally threaded and purchase a can. And in that time, I'll just acquire a Gen 2, keep this Gen 1 for whatever. It's good to have. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more impressed with this thing. And the cool thing is, when I saw these a couple years ago, I always really felt like, oh man, you know, I'm never gonna have one of those. They're really expensive, and I'm sure there's a ton of paperwork and laws all around it and everything like that. And tell you what, $170 straight out the door, cash, no questions asked. The world and the time we're living, it's pretty sweet right now when it comes to firearms. So yeah, look into it, pick it up. I strongly recommend it. Now, I don't have a review or an opinion on how it operates as far as working goes. I have not put any rounds through it. I just, like I said, purchased it about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't found any time to get to the range yet. So when I do, I'm going to absolutely film the way it works, and I'm going to bring it back into the beat laboratory here, and I'm going to break it down for you guys, because that's exactly what I do. I'm going to put it through its paces. I'm going to beat the ever-loving shit out of this thing, and I'm going to make it cry. Because you know, I've heard some chief complaints too about, you know, plastic on plastic and plastic on metal, and so, you know, there's some things. This charging handle, I don't know. I'm a little scared of the charging handle at times. I feel like instead of just pulling it, you know, when you're pulling it this way to charge it, you know, it's a double, it's an ambi. Although it's a little awkward to do it this way, especially if you're going to have a sight on there. So what I've just done is I just hold that kind of cheek well it, and then get both hands on there and just rack it that way. Charge it with both hands, because I'm just really not too stoked on that. You know what I mean? This is metal and this is plastic, and them teeth, they get sheared off. There's nothing you're gonna do. You can't refill that plastic back up if it's you know, once this is smoked, which is maybe why they made it like this, because you can probably buy a secondary piece if that does get muffed. Whatever, still really stoked on it, and yeah, once I get the opportunity, I'm going to bring you guys a video on that thing. It's going to be pretty dope. So for as of right now, I have absolutely nothing but good things to say about the Glock. If I'm going to be 100% honest with everybody, no, I have not even fired this yet. This thing is still virgin. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep her as pristine and clean as possible. No, that's also the issue too. Oh, it smells like gunpowder. What? Whew, a little lightheaded there. Anyways, it's tough working, and it's kind of pricey to go to the range. So, whoa, I know, it's crazy, right? The gun guy freaking out about spending money on bullets and shooting and shit like that. Listen, it's pricey. Rounds, they're hard to come by. I found the 9 that I have, I got 100 rounds of it. Who knows? That might be the only 100 rounds I get in like a little bit. You know what I mean? Trying to conserve here, folks. The zombie apocalypse is upon us. Prepare. Anyways, I digress. So, but like I said, I've shot in other Glocks. I'm sorry, correct that. I've fired other Glocks, and I know how they operate, so this one's probably going to fire the same way. If not, then I'm going to have to go make a chief complaint with the officer over there at Glock of Austria. Tell him, listen, bud, this, no bueno. Rectify my situation immediately there, cowboy. But no, we should be pretty cherry. So that's really all that I got to go off of for today. I don't want to assault you with too much knowledge where it just falls in one ear and out the other. I do want to thank everybody for spending time. Again, this is Jamie with FTE Productions. If you have any comments, likes, questions, you want to hear anything, you have any questions about firearms, you want to see me do a review on a particular firearm, please drop it in the comments. Let me know. Leave me some love. Hey, you want to leave me some hate? Do it too. Love you guys, and I'm going to see you in the next video here shortly. All right. Vlog out. See ya.